Today, the Minneapolis City Council voted to approve a new contract for the city's police. The vote came out to 8 yeses and 4 noes. This means Minneapolis police will be some of the highest paid officers across the state within a matter of years. This new contract includes a nearly 22% raise over 3 years. It would also give management more flexibility in staffing in terms of shifts and locations. The city also negotiated a change to significantly reduce the period of time it takes to fill vacancies. After the vote wrapped up, Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey and Police Chief Brian O'Hara delivered some remarks. Take a look.
We've engaged with, of course, the Police Federation. And as with any contract, it's a negotiation. Compromise is involved. But I am confident at this point that it is a good contract. It's a contract that will help our city. It's a contract that will help Minneapolis turn a very important corner, recognizing that you can get both change and safety. You can see reforms take place and simultaneously recognizing that officers should get paid for the very hard job that they do. This is a big moment in Minneapolis, and we're so proud to be here with all of these incredible individuals.
There have been more than a few alternative proposals that have come forward, and to be honest with you, the proposals that I've seen have changed even very recently. And so I don't want to comment on that before I know what proposal it is exactly, what amendments have passed or have not passed. But here's the deal. The proposal that was put forward is a shell game. Look at it yourselves. It's moving money around from one place to another again, to another again. The bottom line is this. We received public safety aid from the state to do multiple things. That public safety aid should do multiple things. It can help pay for police officers' salary and pay. It can help pay for safety beyond policing. I believe some council members have taken the position that not a dollar of public safety aid should go to police. I disagree. I think it should be both ends. Moreover, we know that this budget is going to be a difficult one. We know that we're trying to fill a very significant gap in funding. We can't have it both ways. We can't continue to spend more and simultaneously not hit homeowners and renters with a significant property tax hike. So we got to be thoughtful about this. We got to be realistic. And that is my hope as to where the council will go. I don't want to make any predictions as to what is happening. There's a limited amount that I can say on this, but what I will say is this lines up with virtually every other contract that we have and other jurisdictions have. It is clear and transparent as to what constitutes discipline and what does not constitute discipline. Moreover, and this is important, I strongly believe that a full compliance will be accounted for within the consent decree itself. And so if we're looking for oversight, I insist on it. I insist on oversight of how coaching is done and how discipline is done. We're going to get that not just through a contract, we're going to get that through a consent decree that's coming forward.
The mayor mentioned a few times that we have turned a corner. That is a fact. 2 years ago, the mayor brought me halfway across the country and charged me with leading a department that's responsible for reducing serious crime and changing the culture of policing in this city. And while I'm not saying mission accomplished, I'm saying it is a fact that we have made progress in both of those goals. And I have learned over the last 2 years that this police department today, while significantly understaffed, is staffed with some of the finest men and women in this profession in this country. And they are incredibly dedicated to the residents of this city. I cannot go one single day in this city without having people come up to me and tell me that themselves, tell me their experiences have been different, tell me how thankful they am for their services. However, unfortunately, because our officers have been through so much, because staffing is the challenge that it is, and they just simply show up call after call after call, going from one bad event to the next, oftentimes working mandatory overtime without time to compensate and relieve from all of that. They don't get to see the outpouring of support from residents that I get to see every day. They got to see that during the 2 public sessions that we had. They got to see that over the last few weeks while the discussions of this contract have been public, and they know the vast majority of residents in this city see the change, they support them, and they are incredibly thankful for them. And they know some of our most vulnerable residents in this town absolutely depend on us. And while increasing pay is certainly not the panacea to any staffing crisis anywhere, I think it's without question that this police department is the most scrutinized in the country, period. And certainly the challenges that we have at this time in perhaps one of the most negative environments that police officers work in, with significantly higher caseloads that had been in the past, as stressful, as traumatic as a lot of that is, having the pay increases, having it being one of the best paid in this state is absolutely necessary to retain the outstanding men and women of this agency and to attract the very finest young men and young women who are looking to serve. So I'm incredibly thankful for the leadership of the mayor. I'm thankful for our city council that got this over the finish line. I know it is a fact. The vast majority of cops in this town have not felt supported over the last few years. The cops in Minneapolis today, in the city where George Floyd was murdered, do not have the luxury of deference. They have to go out and prove every single day that they are the good ones. And they have not felt supported both by police leadership as well as by City Hall. And I think today we've turned a corner with that narrative as well. This sends a strong message to our officers. We want good policing, we support good policing in the city, and we support our officers.
City Council members also speaking after the vote. Here's what they said.
I think we're at a more sophisticated place in our understanding about how the city's relationship with the union works. And that relationship is the fact that we have a long history of a failure of leadership of holding officers accountable. And the contract was never going to fix that for us. The solve for that is going to be our mayor and our chief stepping up and having the courage to actually demand the kind of behavior we want to see from our police force. And it's going to be recognized with historical raises. And when we all ran for city council, a lot of us were on the doors supporting a ballot amendment that was honest with the community, which said we wanted a new system of public safety that had police with other approaches to public safety, a both-and approach. And if you're gonna run on a both-and platform, you have to be honest with your constituents about how you're gonna pay for it. And so we did 2 actions today. One was approving a contract with historic raises that gives us the flexibility to have a much more comprehensive approach to public safety. And 2, we passed a budget that allows us to do this in a fiscally responsible way. Because there's only 2 ways to make investments in our city. It's raising taxes or cutting spending. And so we have shown up with the fiscally responsible, comprehensive solution to public safety. And although all of our votes were not the same, we are all in alignment on holding this department accountable and building the public safety system of the future.
I'm here to talk to you today about the second part of what the council president outlined. We approved a police federation contract with 22% in raises over its life. We need to figure out how to pay for it. The proposal we received from the administration and from Mayor Fry was going to cut comprehensive public safety programs in return for paying for the contract. It is pitting 2 important components of our public safety ecosystem against one another. That is not acceptable to this council, and that is not acceptable to the residents of Minneapolis and the safety services they deserve. As a result, we found a creative solution that uses different money to fund this contract. It uses money that right now is not allocated to any purpose. We are really excited that it was approved by the council and that we are meaningfully keeping our word to funding all of the different mechanisms of community safety in our city, whether that is honoring the contract with the Police Federation or honoring our commitment to residents to fund meaningful public safety alternatives.
Although the council does not agree on everything, the one thing that we do agree on is that public safety is our collective #1 priority. And we made that commitment real today for our residents by putting money where our mouth is. So not only did we fund the police contract, we also preserved comprehensive public safety funding, and we plan to use that funding to make sweeping community safety investments in every ward of the city in the coming months.
Many of my colleagues have already echoed the sentiments that where there is unanimous agreement is we all prioritize a comprehensive public safety system and the investment in that system. For far too long, this administration, the Mayor Frye administration, has shown time and time again they do not take that model serious, and they can quote Safe and Thriving Communities report all they want in a press release, but this contract and the funding proposal that they brought forward to defund those very safety alternative solutions shows that there is not a firm commitment. But I am glad that this body of council members are committed, and the Chuck Todd proposal allowed us to demonstrate that commitment today. So I just want to echo again, kudos and gratitude to Council Vice President Chuck Todd for getting us a proposal that protects the both-and approach. It strengthens it, and I look forward to building upon that, because we know policing is only one piece of the puzzle. Safety does not end nor begin with law enforcement, and I'm glad that we're all committed in furthering that vision for our comprehensive public safety system to keep all of our communities safer.
Keep watching CBS News Minnesota for continuing coverage.